Greetings and salutations. Welcome to Cup of Joe and Poe. I'm your wayward traveler, Don Poe. And today we're going to be discussing face mask. Now, we all know my thoughts on this, and if you don't, you're about to find out. People get complacent. People get used to something. They don't like change. So it was hard enough for some to put a mask on. But simply asking them to take the mask off becomes too much. Now, I can understand people that have bad teeth and their teeth are just like shot, right? Looks like they've been chewing on charcoal their whole life, right? Teeth done. They might want to wear a mask for those purposes. But I've noticed there's an ideology behind the mask more than anything else. There are few naive people that will just wear the mask thinking that it's a safety thing. I don't know about you guys, but planet Earth has been here a really long time, and all the stuff on Earth has been here a really long time. People come and go. You can't spend your life in fear wearing a mask everywhere you go. I guess you can, but then once you don't have that mask on and your body hasn't built up any immunity to anything, oh yeah, you're getting sick really quick, really fast, way quicker, way faster than people who don't wear masks. I actually eat off the ground here and there if I drop something because I like to build up my immune system. I don't mind getting a cold here and there. I want to build my immune system so I can be healthier. Now, a lot of these mask-wearing people are hardcore Democrats. I've noticed this. It's almost like a badge that they'll wear. Like if you see somebody with the Trump hat or a red hat or something, you immediately know and think, hey, this person supports the current administration, MAGA, whatever you want to say, right? That's what that would imply when you see that. Now, when I see a mask, the first thing I think is, that person's a Democrat and they vote that way. They vote to put that mask on people. Now, go back to the pandemic. There are countries like Switzerland. Switzerland had no mask mandate and had the lowest COVID rate, the lowest. So a country that did not force or mandate that you must wear a mask on your face had the lowest numbers. Well, I'm no mathematician here, I'm no rocket scientist, but I can plainly see that right there. They knew they were messing up. You have somebody like Emperor Fauci, whatever you want to call this carbon-based life form, because to me, he gets no respect. This crypt keeper, feeble, warmongering, because that's what he's into with his making weapons. That's what they're doing. Listen, there's no reason to bioengineer a disease, especially when it exists, and make it even deadlier just to see if it's going to progress so you can find the cure. That sounds all the way backwards. All the way. I can understand the ideology behind it. If we can make this before it happens, then we can make the cure before the poison ever gets here. I think they're just thinking too far ahead. Now, back to the mask. Culturally, there are a lot of cultures that used to wear masks, and that was for ceremonial practices and things of that nature, but only in the modern era has the mask become prevalent. I believe, now I could be wrong, I want to say during the Civil War, they started to wear more of a face garment while operating on people. And wow, you want to talk about some modern medicine that has, ooh, wow. Ooh. I've read some of these stories. I've seen some of the pictures. Man, the things that they endured back then. We have all kinds of painkillers and things you can put into a person's body where it's not that bad to get operated on. Back then they had none of that. It was bite down on this stick. And you better hope you pass out. Who would want to be awake for something like that is beyond me. But back to the topic here. Mask. Do you wear a mask? And if so, would you please comment why you wear the mask? I would really like to know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there are conservatives and Republicans out here wearing masks. And if they are, I imagine they're like doctors or nurses and they're at work. When I was a child, we used to go into the hospital or something, and you would see people with masks. It would be normal. But if I was on the street out in public and I seen somebody all masked up, I'm going to be fearful. Like, man, there must be something going on here. Why is everybody wearing a mask? Then come to find out, like later on, now that I'm more coherent, I'm not a child anymore, right? I see what's going on here. It's truly just a statement of saying, it's kind of like this. When I was younger, I wanted to be rebellious. I wanted to stand out. I wanted to be different. So back then, there were, in the 90s culture, sagging just came out. Okay, so I was one of these younger men that would sag, right? Even have a belt, but not even use it properly. I would pull my pants down to show my ass. That's what you're doing. It's called showing your ass, literally. Now, it got its roots, as we all know, in the penitentiaries out west to signify that you were into other men. So somehow culture took this and twisted it around, and I was one of the young men that used to do this, that used to sag real bad, right? The reason for it was because I knew people didn't like it. That's why I did it. I did it out of rebellion. I did it out of, you can't make me conform to your rules. I'll wear my clothing any way I want to wear it. Now, that's freedom. But on the other hand, what message is that truly conveying to society? That I don't want to conform to normal society rules. I want to be different. I want to show my ass. Now that I'm older and I'm a grown man, I actually wear my pants properly. I don't do that anymore. That's the same as the mask wearer. The mask wearer is saying, hey, I know I don't have to wear this mask. People drive around in their cars with the windows up with a mask on. Now, obviously there's no airborne diseases in there. There's nobody in the vehicle with them and the windows are up. The only reason to wear the mask is to say, hey, I'm wearing this mask because I know you don't like it. People do things because they know others don't like it. They truly do. So the mask wearing people, they mainly wear that mask to let others know, like, hey, I'm a Democrat. I vote this way, and this is my garment to let everyone else know that I'm like a little crazy. I'm not all put together here. So be careful how you talk to me, what you say to me, and all that. I would take more precaution in talking to someone with a mask, thinking that they might have some mental episode, than I would one of these crazies out here without a mask. Once again, if you wear a mask, please let me know why you wear a mask. Are you still scared you're going to get sick? That's what I really want to know here, is why are people still wearing masks? Are they fearful they will get sick? And do they not understand you must have an immune system? If you wear a mask over and over and over for X amount of months, X amount of years, your immune system's going to be crap. As soon as you take that mask off and you start breathing the rest of the germs that you were supposed to be breathing, the body is supposed to take germs in, by the way. Your stomach is filled with all kinds of germs and stuff. We literally are a walking petri. We are supposed to have germs. We're supposed to ingest germs. So to run around with a mask on the whole time, you are restricting yourself. You're keeping your body from building immunity to germs. So you're more likely to be sick. Now here's the worst. People that put masks on children. If you are putting a mask on a child, you're not allowing that child's immune system to build any immunity to anything. So when they get older, if they decide they want to take the mask off, you just subjected them to all kinds of sickness. Think about this. Once again, if you can find a good reason to wear a mask other than being a doctor and you're in a surgical situation or you work in the ER or somewhere where there's actual infectious diseases, what do you need a mask for? Unless your teeth are so shot that you don't want the world to see them, wear your mask. Does your mask have like your sports team logo on it and you're wearing it for pride, for your team or something. I mean, really think about this, everyone. It's 2025. Modern medicine has come along so far, but yet we are still restricting medicine for others. There's medicines that cost $1,200 for a pill. Are you serious? What is inside that pill? They had to go to a comet and extract some sort of plant off of another planet in order to make this medicine? Are you serious? Have you seen the process of manufacturing medication? If you haven't, please take the time to investigate that. It'll blow your mind how simple and easy this process truly is now. The advent of machinery and technology and all this, and they're not sitting there with a little grinder smashing up herbs and stuff and making medication. No, it's on a grand scale. It's industrialized. So the price that it takes to make one of these pills is change. Pfizer, all these medical corporations are so embedded in daily life that they work side by side with the food. The food people say, look, we want to make a cheap food, we want to make a bunch of money, but we want it to taste good. They're like, fine, put it out there. And guess what? When they get sick, they can take our medication. Wow, sounds like quite the symbiotic relationship to me. The food people and the drug people are together. Wrap your mind around that. Now, I would think that the medication people would want others to take the mask off so that they could, whoa, wait. Oh, it's right there in front of my face the whole time. They want people to wear the mask so they don't have an immunity, so when they do take it off, they get uber sick, and then they really need their medication. Oh, I didn't even think about that. We're at the 12-minute mark here. This isn't going to be a very long cup of Joe with Poe today. I just want to hammer this in as quick as possible and get off here. We got a lot going on. I'm trying to get accomplished. We are trying to leave this island, and it's becoming extremely difficult now. I am goal motivated. I have a mission, and I will achieve my mission, or I will just continue to try until I can't no more. That's how I operate. Now, I refuse to wear a mask. I refused to wear a mask when they were trying to force masks on people. I was locked up in a state penitentiary when the pandemic happened. And I gotta say, they were paying prisoners, they were paying inmates money to take the vaccine. Right then I knew if they are paying the lowest people on the totem pole, which would be your in servitude, your incarcerated society, within society, the incarcerated people, if you are paying them to take that right there lets me know for sure you're not putting that in my body. Are you crazy? You want to try to rewrite my DNA? You want to put something in me that I don't need? Because remember, humans have been on this earth 750,000 years. Modern man, 98,000 years. Modern man, what you see here. No vaccines. None of that shit. None of it. And we're still here. And we're still going to be here. So we don't need them rewriting our DNA. I am fortunate enough that my parents, I can't say we're anti-vaxxers, but they were not forcing no shots at me. And if you told them they had to do that, they were along the lines of, no, we don't. We say what we do to our child, not you. That is an issue, I believe, going on in the government. You should never have to listen, there's no polo, there's no rebellion, none of these things exist anymore, and when they do, we have cures for them. We have medicine for that. So why are you rewriting children's DNA still through these shots mandated through a school system that's flawed to begin with? What ideologies are the schools teaching? Look into that too while you're at it. If we do not do something pretty soon, we're going to end up like Germany. And Germany right now is restricting its citizens from just doing this. They would come and round me up and throw me in prison and take my devices because I'm shedding the truth. I'm telling you what's really going on here. no blinders, no agenda. There's nobody sponsoring me to say the things I'm saying. There's no paperwork that I signed to stay out of something in order to say what I'm saying. In other words, nobody controls me but me. And I'm all about what? The Constitution, Declaration of Independence, America, nationalism, and having pride in your country. Not letting these bureaucrats keep pushing this paperwork, pushing everything back, and forcing masks on a society. They're going to try to do it again, mark my words. The problem is we actually have someone with balls running the country right now. They don't like that. They want weak people running it. They want guys that can't walk upstairs running the country. They want feeble old men. I don't mind if somebody's got age. Look at Bernie Sanders, for instance. I don't like him at all. I already know he's a socialist and he's basically a communist at heart. We know this. Bernie is fried, but nobody's ever going to vote Bernie Sanders as president. You would be better off voting Colonel Sanders for president before Bernie Sanders. Not to mention he's arm in arm with AOC. Wow. They're socialists. They're literally socialists. They run on that platform. They try to attack and demonize the rich when they're both uber rich. People don't know that Bernie Sanders receives money from the pharmaceutical companies and owns stock in it. So, yeah, I don't think he's ever going to be president. I know he won't. They're never going to be. It's just a waste of time. But what I'm trying to get here is Bernie Sanders is older than Joe Biden and is in better condition cognitively by far. I just watched the View interview, and the only reason I watched it because it was on another show that I watch, and Joe Biden had to go out there and basically talk for him. So who ran this country for the last 4 years? Who was really in charge? Because we all know it wasn't Joe Biden. I mean, that's just preposterous to even think the guy is trying to shake hands with dead people, can't find his way off the stage, can't even articulate a sentence properly. And then that cackling hen thing that he had along with him, like she was really going to win? Why did they do that? Maybe they knew that they fucked up. Maybe they actually do care about America to the point where they knew they messed up so bad and they need it fixed. Look, we can't beat Trump. Well, we could if we ran Bobby. No, Bobby's too far sanity. Yeah, Bobby's sane. Bobby will, and I'm talking about Robert Kennedy here. They didn't even have a primary. They just picked this woman. Like, we were all going to be like, oh yeah, the Indian lady. Wait, she's black? No, she's not. She's Indian. Like, that's what I'm saying. They're so maniacal at the way they trick people, the way they pull the wool, the way they do what? Grab your heartstrings. Because if you can control somebody's emotions, you can control them. Remember what I tell you all the time. Weak-minded people are controlled by words. Don't be a weak-minded person. Control you. Words do not control you. You control you. You make your own decisions for your actions. So take the mask off. If you're wearing a mask, take that goddamn thing off, man. Throw it in the garbage. What is it even doing anyways? You know what the bigger thing is for me? When people were actually getting upset because people didn't want to take this experimental drug in their arm. If I built natural immunity myself, I've had COVID 2 times. Okay, 2 times. First time I lost the ability to smell and taste and had a horrible headache. Second time, mild headache. I haven't had it since, and I don't care if I get it again or not, because it's just part of life. You get colds, you get flus, you get close to death many times, and then you either die or you live. There is no, I'm going to walk around with a mask on my whole life. Who would want to live in that kind of world anyways? To breathe through paper or cotton or something your whole life, and it ain't even doing shit anyways. If you get close enough to a real airborne disease, you think your little mask is doing something. It's not. Unless you're wearing an actual hazmat respirator suit or you're inhaling actual oxygen through a hazmat suit, you're not stopping that. So keep wearing your mask and looking goofy, because that's all you're doing is just looking goofy. This has been Cup of Joe with Poe. If you have yet to subscribe, please subscribe. Hit that bell icon so you get notified when we drop new videos. If you're watching on Facebook, then follow. like and share. Really shows the algorithm that you're standing strong with common sense, because that's what we're doing here. So, till tomorrow morning, or tomorrow afternoon, whatever it may be, wherever you are on this ball of dirt spinning through Earth at 67,000 miles per hour. Love the one you're with, and be kind and courteous to strangers. But if you see somebody with a mask, sarcastically tell them, hey, nice mask. Maybe it'll sink in their brain. What am I wearing this mask for anyways? All right, one love.